I'm in the home of Scott Schreiber at his next arcade party.
RetroGamingRoundup.
And we're going to talk about something new on my channel, Pachinko.
And Pachislo.
And what?
Pachislo. We'll inform the good folks about that here in a minute.
Okay. So Scott, can you give me a brief history of Pachinko, where it's actually started?
Yeah, it's funny. It's commonly described as vertical pinball, which is really wrong. Long story short, after World War II, the Japanese took a game called Bagatelle, which is where you would have a board with pins, you spring up a ball, it would trickle down, maybe you win something, maybe you wouldn't. And they developed it. Now all Pachinko machines are very collectible. I find them boring, to each their own. The old ones, it was a circle, this is called the cell, this circular part. And the cell would have just flowery designs. And it looked very feminine, you know. The balls would hit it and spin the little flower, and it would spin, you know.
Transmedia International.
The classic Pachinko machines have the same size cell, but there'll be like a tulip, and when the ball hits it, the tulip will spin, right? Not really my thing. Then in the 80s, they start getting kind of cool. They got electronic. They'd have like an LED score counter, and they would have maybe like a robot that would move, you know. And the modern Pachinkos are simply amazing. I mean, look at this. Big bright monitors and, you know, animatronics, like the R2-D2 moves around, and he'll give you a zoom in on that. It's amazing. So the gist of it is, it's a gambling game. So in Japan, some gambling is illegal, and what they do is they put parlors of these things, right? Hundreds of machines lined up, and I'll get into a little bit about that, why they're so economical to own. What would happen is, so you go in and you buy these Pachinko balls. So let's say you pay $10 for a pound of balls, right? You put them in the machine and you play the machine. The balls shoot up, and the whole goal of this game is you shoot the balls with this throttle and they trickle down through the pins. And by changing how hard you're shooting and when you shoot, you can reasonably navigate the balls to different areas of the playfield, which you want to do at different times. Like if you're in a bonus mode, you want to be hitting down here. Otherwise, you want to be up here to start the real spin. So basically, the better you do in the Pachinko machine, at the same time, there's a slot machine going on. So the better you do in the Pachinko machine, the better your rolls are in the slot machine. So it's basically two machines in one, right? So let's say you put in your $10 worth of balls and you lose them all. Because what happens is when they go out the drain, if they don't hit a scoring item, they go out the drain, they're gone. They go on a conveyor belt in their history. If you hit, like, say, one of these bonus things, these channels that go through there, it might be 1 in, 5 out, 1 in, 10 out. So if you're lucky and talented, you start off with a pound of balls worth $10, and now you got 10 pounds of balls worth $10. You've got $100 from $10 gambling, right? But you can't go redeem the balls. What you do is, you know, for cash, you say, for example, win a prize. So you give them back the balls, and they go, "Thank you for my balls, sir." We'll put them over here. And you won the teddy bear, right?
Or Bowser.
So, yeah, so they give you the Bowser, right? Now, outside, there's a shopkeep, right? And he sits there, and you know what he buys? Teddy bears. And you know what he pays? $100. So I give you $100.
$100?
And you give me the teddy bear. So it circumvents the rule of gambling, is what it does. So, that's what they do in the parlors. Now, what's really cool about these is U.S. gambling machines sit in casinos powered on 24 hours a day for years. These machines, did you notice these look really new?
Yes.
These machines in Japan are like movies. They're in there for like a couple weeks, maybe months. Then they're gone and new machines come in. So they get used, but they don't get beat on for years. They're in there for a couple weeks, right? So when you buy them, they look new, right? And here's the great thing. In Japan, it's very expensive to get rid of things because of their cool of EPA fees and all. So what they do is they find some crazy fucking American who will get a container and buy a container full and then ship them over here. So these machines are, you know, a couple $1,000s new, right? Between $100 to $200 on average for these.
Wow.
You're buying for $150, I would say average. You're getting this stuff. Now, there are some exceptions, okay? These happen to be two of the more expensive machines. And when I say more expensive, this one I had to pay $250 for, because there's Star Wars collectors out there competing for these as well as Pachinko collectors. So $250, right? This one I paid $220 for. And here's what's cool is this one here is extremely rare. You're lucky to see this. It's Cross Media International, CMI. They did the video and they're in California. This is one of the machines. This machine was never in a parlor. Sensei R&D, the company that does this machine, produces it, shipped them some samples to put in their offices, right? And they just had too much stuff in their office, so they sold some off. So I paid like $220, $230 for this. It's never been in a parlor. When I got it, it still had the styrofoam inside the
That's
cell.
very reasonable for something like this.
And it's Ferrari, okay?
Yeah.
So me being the biggest Ferrari nut on the earth, well, one of them. You know,
One of them.
you know, being a Ferrari owner and being a Pachinko fan, there is no better machine. The only way this could get better is if there's like a KISS machine or something. But so like I said, it's a beautiful machine, very well built. It's a commercial grade machine. It's made to be in an expo hall, right? So these are called Pachinko, right? Now over here, we're gonna go over there and talk about Pachislo.
Pachislo. Okay, and these are the Pachislo machines.
So you have Pachinko over there and Pachislo over here, although there is a Pachinko right behind you. So Pachislo is basically slot machines. Now these are pure slot machines, right? And these are called what's called the high-grade vision. It's a Japanese term. Because they have these big-ass monitors, right? And inside of it is an actual reel. So those are real reels that you see through a port inside a monitor. And there's Popeye, of course, and then Golden Samurai. These are really cool. And the great thing about these, man, is these come in so many themes. If there's something you're into, there's probably a Pachinko or a Pachislo that has that. Over your shoulder, for example, there's the Galaxy Railway. I just have that unplugged now because I'm moving some machines around. But Galaxy Railways is off of an anime series. It's brilliant. So with these, they're real slot machines, right? You take your, and these always come with tokens. You can find these. You put them in there, and then you gamble, right? Well, I won. So what you'll notice about this is down here there's a map. See how it's like forest, mountains, see, right?
Yeah.
As you're actively playing this, you progress through a storyline, right? And we need to redo it, or
No.
I'll just restart it.
No. I want to zoom in on it while you're talking
All right.
about it.
No, I'm saying I'll restart that part so you can get it.
Go ahead.
So as you can see down here, there is a storyline. Okay. So as you play this slot machine, you start off in the forest, right? And you kind of like Golden Axe, where you have the map. You journey through different areas, and the bonus modes play out different animation scenes, right? Like say Bluto will show up with olive oil to grab her out of a boat, and if you get a good roll, you get olive oil rescued. If not, Bluto takes off in the boat. So it's an interactive bonus mode, right? Now over here, Golden Samurai, this one's really cool. Basically, there's this whole demon kingdom that's infesting it, and these things have storylines that you can pick up. In this one, there's this whole demon kingdom underground that's infesting this village and controlling people, and you play the role of either a male or female samurai that's protecting this kid who's like important to stopping the demons, right? And it's got some gnarly footage in it too. So like there's this like six-legged monster that will come down, and it'll have like bonus mode, right? Let's say you roll like bell, 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 right? You get a good roll. It'll have the guy Hetsu, it'll take the sword and slice the demon in half, right? You get a bad roll, like you lose, it like grabs the kid and tears him in half and throws him on the street.
So depending on how it goes for you playing the game, you're advancing the story.
Absolutely. So I don't know how much we'll get it to do just doing this, because obviously they don't give you everything up front. They want you to play it for a while, So the great thing about owning these is you're not pumping hundreds of dollars in it to see the modes. You just play through it, and after like say, here we are playing for a minute. After like 5 to 10 minutes, you start seeing some really cool bonuses. Now in real life, you're just losing your money, right?
So during the arcade part, you actually make this use real coins, right?
I tell you a funny thing about ownership with this. See?
Look at that.
Yeah. Now I leave these on skill stop. You can modify these to where they're auto stop, but
You
Now see this, if I get a good roll, he's gonna have a good strike. If I get a bad roll, see? Bell, 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 right?
Wow.
So, you know, and it starts off, see, right away we're seeing sort of the intro scenes, like introducing you to the characters. Then, as you go on, you get into some more of the dramatic action scenes that play out as bonuses, right? Something I should mention about ownership. In states where there are casinos, like for example, Mississippi has riverboat gambling. The casinos write legislation because they don't want competition. So what they do is they actually, in Mississippi, it's illegal to own these machines, right? Now, everyone of course says, bullshit, and they buy them, you know. So whatever, they're savages. Most states do allow you to own them, but where they can get you is you want to have them running on tokens, right? Because if you go to quarters, then it's illegal, right? So if I ran these on quarters, I could run into trouble. But this is, you know, 100% legal. So anyway, like I said, ownership, pretty cheap, right? These tend to go for about $100 to $250 as well. The high grade visions, again, go for a little more. I think I paid like $250 for that and like $220 for that. They also sell ones that are just pure slot machines that are a lot less, right? So $100, right? And people trade, and the biggest, you know, they trade them, they sell them on eBay. The biggest thing is actually shipping these is where it gets expensive. But I'll show you what's inside here. What's really cool about these is, as you can see, I mean, you see what you're getting for $200. This is all commercial quality stuff. This is real good stuff, right? So, you know, you got the coin acceptor here, the screen, the reels. Now, what's really cool is I'll show you one in my garage that we did, okay? You can get different reel strips that have different images on it. So you can actually, like I did one airplane themed, where instead of like bell, 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 it's a different, it's a buddy of mine's airplane. I made his plane the Lemon, right? So I've got my airplane on there. So instead of bar, 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 it's Piper Cub, Piper Cub, Piper Cub. So it's a custom themed, you know, slot machine, right? Very easy to do. So you can re-theme these if there isn't a theme that you like. But I mean, it's all, you know, every board's plastic encased, so there can be no shorts. The processors are all secure microprocessors. Because it's gambling equipment, they don't want it hacked, right? What's curious is there's a little board up in there that's full of relays. That is where you interface to a network if you want to network these, right? Because there has to be literally an air gap firewall. The game actually reports its winnings by clicking a relay to send pulses so that there can be no commands sent to the slot machine. And that's why everything you hear about Vegas is bullshit. Where people say, oh, you know, they can hit a button and make a payout. They absolutely cannot. They're literally, they have an air gap firewall to keep them from even being possible to do that. So, well, that's about it. I just want to show you guys something that, you know, most people don't know about. You know, it's a very economical and fun aspect of gaming. I mean, you can buy a lot of these machines for, you can buy a whole collection for under $1,000, you know? And they're fun, and they're, you know, they're easy to maintain, parts are available, so I just want to show you guys what Pachinko and Pachislo are, commonly called Patchies. Also, check out a website, Patchy Talk, P-A-C-H-I Talk. Patchy Talk has a really good forum that's sort of the home of these games.
Thanks for watching.